5 minutes after 11 o'clock, we're right on track today, boy. I mean, it's one of the better days, I must admit. I hope those of you who are listening just now have really taken in what I was saying with regards to, the model. If Trinidad and Tobago really has to, be at the cutting edge, then we must admit that we have to have a model. And if you don't have a model, you really would be wasting time, so to speak, in my personal view. The truth is that we always trying in our own way to become creators. And I have no problem with that. I really think it's a damn good thing, because one of the things about a Trinbagonian is that he's super creative. He can take nothing and make something. That means that we must be able to take that and put it into the other spheres, if you want to call it that. With that said, don't forget that Kabuki Black is coming up. That's on Saturday, the 12th of May. It's the night before Mother's Day. One place, one people, one color. And at 12 midnight, something special is going to happen for moms at this particular Kabuki Black event. Black, 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 Kabuki Black. Blacknificent it is. 104.7, we are the official station for Kabuki Black. And Kabuki Black is being powered by High Level Audio this year. $200 are the tickets, get them, because when they finish, you'll have to pay more. And they are available at quite a number of places. Stay tuned and but if you want information, you can call 293-1145. That's the hotline, as they call it, and they'll give you all the details. With that said, 11:07, that time check comes through the kind courtesy of Value Optical. Value Optical. One down there. You have some special glasses. All these police cars that have these lights on, that blue light really is very, very damaging to people's eyes. I don't know if the commissioner of police is aware. Poor guy. I don't even know if he understands whether he puts his pants on right side or wrong side. It seems like he hasn't got a clue what's going on. And I heard some legal person speaking the other day at a function, and I wondered how that person really got to the bar. It might not have been the bar that we are knowing. It could have been another bar. But let me take this opportunity to welcome Philip. Philip, morning.
Good morning, Robert. Good morning to all of the 104.7 loyal listeners. Good morning to everybody tuning in live on social media. Robert, this is breaking news. Kidnapping in Fairways, Maraval.
Sure.
Officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service are currently investigating reports of an alleged kidnapping last night in Fairways, Maraval. Residents became aware of the alleged kidnapping after hearing screams and found a black BMW hatchback PDH 6081 idling in the middle of the road with the keys still in the ignition. The vehicle has been found to be registered to a Cindy Ramnath. And it's breaking news. Fairways, Maraval, Trinidad and Tobago. We've been telling you all, the wolf leaving the hotspots, the wolf leaving the at-risk communities and coming where you live. The wolf is in Fairways, kidnapping people. To get in the Fairways, you have to drive past a security booth. You're gonna stop and they're gonna ask you questions. Fairways. Fairways is a community, a very upscale community, as you know, Robert. And I just point this out there. I don't want to dwell on that too much. The issue you were speaking about when I came in here today is so critical to this country going forward. And the fact that neither the Prime Minister, the leader of the ruling party, and the leader of the opposition are even touching on this issue of where are we going financially, economically. The rest of the world has had 2 years of continuous boom. Trinidad and Tobago is in a continuous recession, and there is no urgent and national symposium on diversification of the economy. Nothing.
You know, one of my associate school friends sent me some information that is not in conformity to what you say. I don't have it in front of me now, but I'll send it to you.
World Bank figures 3.5% growth last year.
Yeah, no, but he's talking about Trinidad and Tobago specific from statistics that he has received. Where you get it from, I haven't interrogated.
I willing to look at anybody's numbers and anybody's statistics, but the fact of the matter remains. I work with simple numbers. Every year you stand up in the parliament and spend $60 billion. Where you get that money from? We in debt or we earn it. Either way, somebody will pay the bill. You've been asking today, where's the money coming from? You compared China to Russia. You compared, it was China you were speaking about, I came in late.
Yeah, China.
I read for social media the other night the circumstances surrounding the rise of South Korea and Singapore. Now I know Singapore is a model that you use a lot.
Used to use.
Lee Kuan
Yew.
Yew, they're your boy.
That's my partner.
Do you know that South Korea, since the Korean War was over, besides developing themselves into a developed nation and the 11th largest economy in the world, they've had to spend billions of dollars manning the most militarized border on the planet.
Correct. Yeah.
If they didn't have to spend that money,
But
Robert,
yeah,
if they didn't have to spend that money, no, we had to say this.
Yeah.
Because the same length of time that we are alive as a nation.
Yeah. They'll be by far gone. They'll be full of
Robert, Dubai didn't make their money from oil. Dubai made their money from shipping.
Yeah.
From being the shipping center of the Middle East. Singapore as well. Singapore don't have the resources we have. Robert, nobody else on planet Earth has a pitch lake like ours.
No, there's another one.
Not the size of ours.
Right, okay.
There's a tar pit.
All right.
We have the Labre pitch lake, a wonder of the world. Robert, that alone supposed to be mining this whole country. Nobody else have a nylon pool. Nobody else could get out a boat in the middle of the ocean and stand up in water 5 feet deep. Nobody else have that. We have the oldest heritage forest reserve in the Western Hemisphere in Tobago. This country is outside of the hurricane belt, the only Caribbean territory that could make that claim. Every year, billions of dollars lost due to hurricane-wrought damage to pleasure craft.
Yeah.
Because when you see CNN and Fox
And
pass through and give you, that's what they're showing you. The first thing you're seeing,
boat and plane.
boat and plane mashup. And Lloyds of London counting their losses. Imagine you go to Lloyds of London and you say, listen, save half the losses you lose every year.
Come in Trinidad.
Come Trinidad and Tobago.
Give me some Canada.
Set up your capital, set up your main office here. Help us build a marine industry in Trinidad and Tobago that could bring all of those pleasure craft during the hurricane
Yeah,
season.
because it's easy to get back where you have to carry
Easy to
them.
get
There's
back
water
there.
to
There's
go.
water to go. Robert, there are 15 major cruise ship tourist lines in the world. The deputy chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party, his other hat is he's the local representative of a major shipping company, cruise ship shipping company. And when he tells you the kind of money a cruise ship spends in port,
Yeah.
when a cruise ship stops in your country, not just as a cruise destination, if you were a ship turnaround facility that specialized in dealing with just cruise industry, you make billions of dollars a year. The fact that we're outside the hurricane belt helps a lot. And that we could be a #1 world destination for cruise shipping now. You could say, if Keith Rowley, that double-tongued, deceitful demon, if he put out today not one call for one 1%er to get one marina, you're taking a piece of the idea and using it to feed your friends and finances. But if he called on Robert Amar and every other business owner and said, listen, we will make land available in Tobago, and this is our contribution to a joint venture with you. We want to be 1/3 owner with you and an international cruise line of a marina. So if you could then sell the idea to Monarch of the Seas, or Caribbean Princess, or Disney, or whoever, to come into this joint venture with us. They don't have a pound of money, and Trinidad and Tobago don't have a pound of money. Robert Amar and whoever is the business owner will put out the money, the government will put out the land, and the cruise ship will bring the cruise ship. By the first anchoring, by the first docking, you make back full return on the cost of building a marina. Because you're building a marina to dock one ship. And on the ground, you're building facilities for the 1,000 passengers, the 5,000 passengers, how much ever coming off the ship. That they could come, and you renting space to local arts and crafts and food people. They come in on your marina.
Yeah.
Where transportation, shuttles, open air buses, I mean, we be dropping.
This is not rocket science.
No, it's not rocket science, but how could we not be talking this?
Yeah, because again, we come back to the point, I mean, chicken or egg.
Could you agree with me this morning that we could put 1 million feet on the ground if we worked a tourist plan just for cruise ship tours like I just told you?
I wouldn't doubt that we could do.
And 1 million feet on the ground is $1 billion US. That is diversification of the economy. Robert, avocado, Zaboca, is $1 billion market from Mexico to the United States.
And the quality of theirs is not close to the quality of ours.
Chalk and cheese, literally.
We have some avocado.
Robert, let's call it butter.
Yes.
Let's call it butter. I make toast and butter it with avocado already.
I have a neighbor of mine that have avocado.
Pollock,
but let me tell you, one fell in the yard about, must be last year. The tree isn't doing well. It's a big tree. But you know, within this last couple of years, the flowers from the trees are falling off much faster. And this is one of the things they're talking about bees and pollination.
Right.
And the issue of what could possibly go wrong, which
Right.
is why I've been asking.
No, because
we have a seed bank in Trinidad.
No,
Tobago.
exactly, but you've never had.
Ready for the apocalypse.
No, but you've never had leadership who understood this, right? That they're not proactive, they're reactive. Mosquitoes breed in a wet environment.
Yeah.
You need water for them to lay the eggs. So you know mosquito season coming, rainy season. You put the people out on the road to make sure that anytime you hear and you tell people, if mosquito in your area, call this hotline.
Okay.
We come in everybody's yard and we finding who responsible for breeding the mosquito, we finding them. Look at $5,000 fine. And we mashing up whatever breeding the mosquitoes in the area. We're not passing through with city council truck spraying that nasty chemical that killing the bees. It killing the butterflies and the moths. You remember 30 years ago, you used to drive down the highway.
Wow,
When you reach home, you have to clean your windscreen.
Really?
So much thing dead on your windscreen.
Yeah.
That don't happen again.
No, that's a good point.
That don't happen again. Because that lanate and all the other nastiness that is the spraying for mosquito, killing everything.
There was something better than Philip. About 20 years ago, they did an insecticide survey in Trinidad and Tobago of the insecticides they're not supposed to use. And I don't even know if they have even reduced that to a piece of law, to a non-importation. You know, in America, you can't bring in
Negative list. Robert, we've never had.
I don't know about this.
Robert, the pissing contest between the PNM and the UNC that has reduced our leadership to political noise has to end. We were talking about, we went down a side street about bees. Come back to the size of the avocado market.
Yeah.
If we were serious, because an avocado tree don't need you to talk it.
No.
It don't need you to wet it.
No.
You don't have to weed it.
No.
Nothing.
Takes care of himself.
The avocado tree, whether you look at him or not, he bearing avocado.
Yeah.
Like
it's like a breadfruit tree.
Like a breadfruit tree, like a mango tree,
those
like a guava tree.
Yeah,
Listen,
those
fine.
products you
Put
talk about
soursop there. Because soursop is a
right.
major, right now.
Health stories about it, yes. But we have to ask
Robert, 1 million trees. Robert, 1 million
yes,
trees.
so it goes back
Robert,
to the
1 million trees. All the land idle, boy.
Yes.
They're building strip malls. You see how much strip malls built from Chaguanas heading north?
Yeah, plenty.
Just now you could walk from Chaguanas
It'll be
to Port of Spain on strip mall car park land.
Yeah.
And that is fertile farmland they're playing the fool with. And the day will come, or the generations to come will rue this, Robert, because food independence is the only independence that
Food and
matters.
water.
Well, I mean, yeah. But food independence, brother. You're living in a time where there is solar power water maker. So once the sea reaches shore, you can make water. But food. Go back to history when Russia allowed Hitler to come in. Hitler with his fast self went to invade Russia. Say, come. And they just kept stepping back. And Hitler and the stupid Nazis think we have them on the run. All they're doing is they're burning down their own villages and their own cities and they're retreating. And at some point, the distance between their forward line and their rear supply line got too big for them to send food. And Russia burnt everything to the ground. The Germans ate shoe leather. They ate their horses. You know what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
They ate anything and they starved to death in the snow. Trinidadians will rule the day. You see Trump and all this nonsense that's going on in the world? We don't have to get too much into it, but big business in America like to drop bombs, you know. Because bombs is money.
Well, you know, that's why I got so interested in the Chinese situation.
Bombs is money. Bombs is big money. If you have a
$100
war...
million for what do you call it, a stealth.
Robert.
And people suffering from hunger.
Correct.
And you wonder you come in to invade
Correct.
you.
But once their war starts and shipping lanes get compromised,
I think it's $8 trillion. They say the arms turnover or sale per year. You know? So they don't want to lose that. That's why they're making the money.
It is the largest industry in the world is
arms and
ammunition. The second largest is religion, but we'll stick a pin there. We'll stick a small pin there. We'll come back at that one day. But once the war starts and shipping lanes get compromised, Hadco ain't getting goods. Amco ain't getting goods. Massey ain't getting goods.
Yeah, so what we gonna do then?
What we will eat? We will eat straight up. We'll get like Venezuela. And all the people we bust style on, Robert, they cock like Mapipi waiting for Trinidad.
Yeah, it's true.
We give them real talks when we had ham and jam.
Yeah.
Your Attorney General just sent back official refugees. They have status. That's one step away from picking up citizens and throwing them out of the country. An official refugee. We are signatory to a document in the United Nations. Come back to the food because, Robert, 1 million trees of avocado, guava, breadfruit, soursop, mango.
Let me say something here. That is why I am so disappointed in the Minister of Agriculture. And I'm saying this publicly today. Here why. We ordered, as a family, I think 50 avocado trees 4 years ago from the St. Joseph farm. Pay for it and everything. We gotta pay for it. I sent the man the bill. I said, listen, I see you on this drive for seedlings.
Where my tree?
I said, but how come I can't get 50 avocado trees? Now I understand the guys up there, they had their own deal.
No. You could get bougainvillea.
Again, this is the point I'm
You
making.
could get bougainvillea. You could get what's them white flowers now, frangipani.
Yeah.
You get frangipani. You could get things that you can't eat.
So when he turned around and he published and he talked about 1 million seedlings, I wrote him a letter saying, where these million seedlings? And I asked people,
Give me a breakdown.
million seedling, correct. So they started telling me about all the lumber they have and all kind of thing. I asked the question, I said, million seedling, where the bags come from? Where the compost come from? Because they're full of million bag with compost.
Robert, they're not talking to educated, intelligent, critical thinking people. Their job is to, you see, somebody said,
It's bullshit. That's their job.
treat your supporters like mushrooms. You don't just grow mushrooms, you keep them in the dark and you feed them manure. That's how you grow mushrooms. And that's what the PNM and the UNC does to the people who still pay attention. Kamala going to rent your vote again. Make outside children, we get $500 a child every year. That is what you bring in to the table in 2018.
I don't want to accept that. I think that
Robert,
she's taking a humanitarian
that is not a humanitarian position to take.
We've shared a different view because already, as I said,
Finland model, Robert. Finland model. It is available to anybody. You build a school that feeds the children in the school.
At the end of it all, this is the.
You don't have to give anybody. You don't have to appoint Miss Farfan again to run the school feeding program that could never balance its budget. You build schools where in that school has a lunchroom, and you
I've seen the model, and I comply. I agree. But the point I am making to you is that in order to reach to that level of critical thinking, the administrator.
no, you can't say that. You can't excuse them because you can't tell me, Phil, we brighter than what passing for government and tolerate it.
No.
That's like somebody telling me, let Shamfa learn as she go.
It's not about.
She don't know nothing about sport. She thinks sport is running and jumping. That's what she say.
The thing about it is while you are right.
Ato Bolden
while you are
asked.
right,
Ato Bolden asked. He said we 2 years away from Olympics, and we just appoint somebody as Minister of Sport who thinks sport is running, jumping, and skipping.
Okay. But to put aside that, Philip, because
But that's the point.
while the Minister of Sport really has a role to play, we have an institution called the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Association that is not stupid to what has to be done, and Ato Bolden has to be out of his sense to make such an asinine statement. Because he doesn't run the Olympics position. She doesn't run the Olympics. She only provides money for the Olympics. She doesn't have no say with regards to the and look, shame on Ato Bolden for a man that's supposed to have the experience.
No. What he
Shame on
said,
him.
no, but what he said, listen, I was the one who raised the issue about the running, jumping, and skipping. But he said, but with 2 years, it was on a
And
trend.
that is a dotish question
No, but-
for him to say.
no, but it was on a
And
trend.
he only said that because the damn girl that he's supporting gets she ass bust because of the other one.
Robert.
She can't make it.
Robert.
Sandford didn't
Robert.
didn't reach.
You see?
If Sandford had
You
reached,
see,
he have a different say.
you see, you have a horse in a race. I ain't
I
going
have no
there.
horse in the race.
All I'm telling you is this.
I telling you when you
cannot-
have sour grapes attitude, you can't deal with that.
You cannot appoint somebody as a minister of a critical
You
ministry.
could import,
and
you could
people
employ anybody.
and people telling you they will learn as they go.
The
How you
point
could
is
have a
that-
minute?
But no, disaggregate the situation. We have to disagree.
We'll disagree on that.
All right, because at the end of the day, the TTOC is very clear in their vision.
Though,
Where they're going, and
Alright.
the only thing that the TTOC need is money. They don't need Shamfa.
did you read Torpedo Thompson's letter to the minister?
I don't even want to read Torpedo Thompson's letter to the minister
Robert.
because it didn't write to Shamfa. It write to Smith. Smith is out the equation. Let Thompson now approach the Trinidad and Tobago.
Clearly.
You see again, here is the problem. Torpedo Thompson had its time. He no longer could run the 9.8. And while I agree that he could make a contribution, it will not be at the Olympics for a gold medal.
Clearly, we need to put sport as a topic for a good discussion. Let's stick up in there and come back where we were.
No, but I have to come back to you with that.
Robert,
As far as I am concerned, Shamfa Koju, and if the mighty medalist Ato Bolden is making such an asinine statement, I say to him, brother, hear what? Shame on you.
Robert, I am saying to you, let us get Ato on the phone. Not
You
today.
can get anybody on the
Right.
phone and I will tell them shame on him.
No, listen. You need to have people with a vision for the ministry, yes or no?
You need to
Yes,
have
we
people
don't focus
with
on
a
sport
vision.
alone.
Yes.
Don't focus on sport alone.
But you cannot take that out of the context of the independent position of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Association.
Understood. I will accept that for
The
now.
bloody people in Mishraspal have nothing to do that
Agree.
about the elite program. And that is for
Agree
the
to
man
stick
in
up
charge
in-
of the TTOC.
agree to stick up in
do
the-
what he's supposed to do.
Ag-
Get off his tail and go and fight for his people.
All I'm saying is we
That is
have
his damn job.
We have
not
the-
to put on sunglasses and go on the TV and talk to people and then take it off and say, take off my glasses so people can see my eyes now. Shame on him too.
but all of that is the foolishness of passing for leadership in this country. It brings us right
But
back
he's
to what we
still in charge
said.
of the
But
TTOC. What makes him any different than Shampa Kojo?
Exactly. And it brings us to the point I was making earlier.
But it's because of populists. We can't change that, you and I. The country has continued to operate on populist
So
mandate.
if you and I don't raise in the public space that you have to appoint to office, and we coming back to the promises made.
If you have an avocado tree, expect to get breadfruit out of it?
Not at all.
So what you expect to get out of Shamford?
Nothing at all.
Oversized top and undersized bottom?
Nothing. I'm not going down that road.
Anyhow, let me move on. Because
Stay
we
on,
don't
the-
agree. We
but
don't agree.
stay on this point.
Yeah.
That the mismanagement of all of those ministries is what has led us to here.
And that is one
You
of
bring
the
up
things
Clarence Rambarat.
Yes.
You bring up Clarence Rambarat, who is a professor and a lawyer and a columnist. All of those things. Who had the answer for every question for the 5 years in the UNC. Now he is there. The only thing he planned is a hedge in front of Balize House. But that is not as important as knowing the UNC that came out of the belly of the sugar belt, that sit and watch our agricultural industry driven into the ground by John Rahal when they had a term in office, did nothing to turn it around.
And all of those again come back, as I said to you. And this is one of the things that I feel is important. Leadership of a country, of a society, of a business, of anything, have to decide what comes first. We are dealing with a future. The present is the present. And based on the polarization of the nation, we are not going to be able to make easy changes.
You see, Robert, you keep pinning those two things together. And I want to tell you, but I want to tell you, what allows those two things to happen in the same sentence, something is missing.
What is that, the PP?
At some point we'll come to that conversation. But what's missing in that sentence is critical education.
Okay.
Just now, let me say this. When you have the shows...
We're going to take a break in 1 minute.
Let's take your break.
No, we can't take it then. Go ahead.
What you do on your shows, what I do on my shows, what we do collectively, all of the work that all of us do, if it is not focusing on raising the level of awareness and knowledge in the country, we're not going anywhere.
I agree with you.
We can't just be a set of political parties. They form an organization, a Westmoreland's political party come out of nowhere the last 2 weeks. They said they had $30 million to spend the last 2 weeks. I ain't calling the name anymore. Every day they share on Facebook every week.
So let me hit your jab on that.
Jab me.
Let me hit your direct punch in the face.
Hit me, man.
How the hell the MSJ does get all the presents that he doesn't get? When he's nothing.
Union dues.
But that what the people.
MSJ is trying to do.
The television.
The MSJ is trying to do.
He get more coverage in the television and newspaper than people who are making more sense than him. And he talks a pack of rubbish.
MSJ is trying to do what the ULF did. And the ULF built a political presence on the Sugar Worker Party, on the Sugar Worker Union, and the MSJ is doing that for oil field workers.
29 minutes before 12 o'clock, that time check comes through the countries, your hearty foods. Let's join the time we pay the bills so we can keep this program going. We'll be back. What is that? Sharon. Hello. I know she had come this morning was to sit down and talk to me, and then she left, but I don't know that she had come. But I'll go deal with it. Yeah. Yeah, she dropped the money yesterday. I think she was there when Indra was there, and I told Indra to collect the money. What do you want to do with it? You want it? Because that's why I call him in. What? It's not a problem there. I don't want.
Station break. Coming back in now. While we're on this break, feel free to share the video. Get as many people here with us as possible. That would be nice. How much longer we have? Ads.
3 minutes.
Wow. You're done with money now. 3 more minutes and we're back inside, people.
Say 5. Come into Value Optical and be lit. And hashtag GT with complete eyewear starting from $1,280. Hashtag slay all day. See in store, online, or call 800-2020 for more info. Value Optical. Caring for your eyes.
Give me a song. I'll put on a quick song.
What kind of song?
One of them song about what is the one you fella that sing about
Change, Helen Francis. Voice, This Is the Year for
No,
Love.
no.
Calypso,
no, the one where he talk about nuclear war and all of that. What is the
Progress.
name? Progress.
that's not Merchant, that was
Oliver Chaplin in this case.
no, King Austin.
We got two of them. I just had to go and do something.
So why don't give it to me? Just throw me in. I'll handle it. Rather than play a song, throw me in. I'll deal with it.
After the sports day, I get to do, right?
It will stop itself.
Yeah.
Right. It is 11:37. I think that was the last ad. And Robert had to run out to take care of some personal business. But we're going to continue the conversation because what we were dealing with before we took the break were all the ways that the country should have been diversifying the economy. And we want to stick on that point. And we need to stick on that point for as long as we possibly can. Because we've known that we should have been diversifying the economy since the crippling recession of the 80s that destroyed the Trinidad and Tobago economy. We almost ended up in the hands of the IMF. And were it not for Selby Wilson and Mrs. A&R, not A&R Robinson's wife, Mrs. Robinson and Selby Wilson, we would have been there. And the truth of the matter is, we have to face as a nation, diversification of the economy is critical now. We spoke earlier about agriculture, we mentioned it briefly. We spoke about tourism, we mentioned that briefly. Robert is back. Robert, we live in a world that is interconnected. Right now, while you and I are talking on the radio, I have people watching me speak live on social media in China, in America, in Britain, live right now, South Korea. And the reason for saying that is, the reasons for us having high commissioners and ambassadors in 2018 is not the same as having a high commissioner and an ambassador 50 years ago or even 30 years ago. The world is interconnected now. We do not need all of the high commissioners and ambassadors that we have now. That's costing us money. It's jobs for the boys, and they have no role to play.
Well, the truth is they play no role.
Correct. But theoretically, you would have...
Other than enjoy themselves.
They have a time. Long ago, before you could pick up the phone and call one another on the phone or FaceTime or internet or email, you needed your ambassadors to intervene in global situations on behalf of your nation. But you don't need that anymore. And theoretically, the only ambassadors Trinidad really might still need, and I wouldn't even call them ambassadors because I think what we should have is an office of the Americas, an office for Europe, an office for Asia, maybe an office for the Middle East. Those 4. You need nothing more than that. And in place of what we use ambassadors and high commissioners for in the past, I strongly suggest that we use forward diplomats and give them as their responsibility, Robert, the mission to sell Trinidad and Tobago to the world.
You see, again, we come full 360 degrees. Out of all of the people that we have appointed to these ambassadorial positions, none of them have the competence to do what you are saying. You could imagine Orville London going to try to sell Trinidad and Tobago.
But you see, but Robert, that's the point.
Okay.
You are saying,
So-
saying, I'm going to put a square peg in a round hole and I'm going to make it work. And I'm saying to you,
I am not saying that. I am saying we don't need. I agree with you that when you sit down and you anticipate, again we come back. That's a failure of an administrative executive. If you sit down and you ask Keith Rowley or Kamala Prasad Bissessa today, what is the role of the Canadian High Commission? They cannot answer you.
correct.
If you
And
sit
I
down
am
and you
saying,
ask-
and I am saying to you and to Trinidad and Tobago that the only role for a High Commissioner and Ambassador now is to sell Trinidad to the world and to engage in conversation that brings foreign direct investment outside of the energy sector into Trinidad.
and I don't dispute that. I
Imagine
agree.
you go and you cut a deal with Tabasco to come and set up a massive plant making scorpion pepper sauce
Oh, yes, I agree.
to market to the world.
Not two ways about it. That's a good. Hey,
That's a no-brainer.
hello.
Robert, you
let,
know.
let them take this. Let them take this idea. It's an idea that I'll be playing around with, but it makes no sense. I'm keeping it to myself. We have one of the greatest things developed in Trinidad and Tobago by error in the last 15 years. You know, something called pepper pineapple chow.
Hey. But we put shadow benny in anything.
Men have made thousands of dollars.
Plenty more than
a
that.
bag.
Plenty more than
A
that.
bag of that used to sell for $5.
Now
I think.
tell me.
It's $20.
Tell me now how in Massey stores I could get Snickers, Twizzlers, Skittles,
Yeah,
Mars, M&M's. I get anything made in America, but I can't get
Pepper
no
pineapple.
Trinidadian processed and preserved pepper pineapple gel.
Well, again, this is something.
All you need to do is stabilize it. The
when-
Chinese have shown you that you could stabilize any fruit, pepper mango, pepper plum, pepper cereals. We're now doing anchar mango and anchar pomsite, but you can't get it in the positions that the foreign foods get in our groceries, and people don't understand why we third world.
When I was chairman of the Export Development Corporation, and I was sitting in that chair, I had already gotten to the point of doing exactly what you say, trying to align the Small Business Development Company with the Chinese, because the Chinese had a grant fund for Trinidad and Tobago for $20 million. I started to tell the people that was under me, working together with me,
Set a mission, set a goal, set a
let
target.
us go after modernizing all the tire shops in
Absolutely.
Trinidad to start
Absolutely.
with.
Absolutely.
I say, how much time we go in the country and when you go and you buy a drink, it's still not cool, because plenty places in the country they still buy a bag of ice to cool the drinks, you know. And these Chinese making fridge and
No, but
freezers
absolutely.
coming out of the air,
No, but
which they can't
absolutely.
sell,
No, but absolutely.
because there are nobody else to sell it to.
And Robert, the point of the matter and the truth of the matter is, there is nothing. People ask me, why do you think that the government has to take lead in these things? And I explain to them time and again, anywhere in the world that is successful, government leads the way, opens the market, and let private sector take it from there. Your job is to be the rising tide that lifts all boats. You could say it to Trinidad, because when India, 30 years ago, we used to laugh at India. Always the call center for the world. When I have Lotus 123 and Excel and Word and have a problem, and I call tech support, somebody in India, hello, good day, how can I help you? Answer the phone. And we laughed at them. And we used to say, India is the tech support center, the call center of the world. Fast forward 30 years because they had a vision. They had a vision to educate their people. We start them off taking phone calls, and they will learn this, and we will teach them, and we will make India the #1 information technology center in the world. And right now, India has the largest middle class on planet Earth based on the fact that they have more ICT patents than any other country in the world.
Well, again,
That's a vision, Robert.
And
That is a vision.
We have
Robert-
always agreed that the important thing and the missing link in Trinidad and
Is
Tobago
leadership.
Is leadership.
Robert, go down to the pitch lake.
Yeah.
Go down to the pitch lake and look at that wonder of the world and tell me how many things that we could downstream from the pitch lake to export to the world. Robert, just think about flashbang.
Yeah, of course.
Just think about
Yeah, of course,
flashbang.
yeah, of course. All the things they're using now for cementing and for waterproofing the gutters.
Robert, think about all of the plastic bottles, think about this, and all of the plastics that Massey say they're fighting, charging you 50 cents for a bag, where in the world, people manufacturing bags out of plant technology. It's plastic bags, but it's plant technology. We're growing hemp here, you're going to have hemp bags cheaper than the 50 cents, and Massey wouldn't have to stunt and gouge their customers. They're going to give those away instead. Come back to the plastics. We say put a 25 cents. The Progressive Empowerment Party say put a 25-cent tax on every plastic bottle manufactured or imported into Trinidad and Tobago, and give that as a redemption to anybody who pick it up. Those plastic bottles, you break them down into pellets and strands and attach and apply them with pitch, and you just created a water sealant, waterproofing, noise reducing, cancelling on anything, on your roof. If you coat your galvanized with that, it will.
Time. I hear you. Now listen, the issues that you speak to or about is not fantasy.
But you just hear the idea for the roof. Nobody doing it. You just hear that and then you think, if I go down in the pitch lake and I say, we will run out of plastic bottle to make roof sealant with. And then we will have to start importing other countries in the region their trash.
But that's exactly what happened with the Chinese.
And Sweden. Sweden has run out of trash. Holland has run out of reasons to have jails. Robert, the first world beckons. And Trinidad is not a poor me one country.
No, it is not.
We've spent $600 billion in the last 10 years. And you could walk around this country and find nothing to show for it.
But it was say 56 years after the fact. But this is why I was making the point earlier that the failure from where I sit is about dealing with the present and not the future. And I am not advocating that we do not have to service the present. But I'm saying the priority should be on tomorrow. If we start fixing tomorrow, eventually...
That's where you and I agree. A
eventually-
vision for the people. Without a vision, the people starve. The Bible telling that 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago. So you're trying to tell me that band of jackasses, they don't have one of them that could say, okay, avocado is $1 billion US market, let me get in avocado. Guava is 5 times the vitamin C of an orange, let's get in guava business. Scorpion pepper is #2 in the world, and it is the #1 component for pepper spray that 500 million soldiers and police around the world have on the hip. Let me get into the pepper spray business. Soursop, natural chemo, natural cancer fighter. The world can't get enough soursop. Let's get into the soursop business. Let us process and reduce it and sell the health benefits of soursop. The way we imported Noki juice and all this kind of every other flavor of the year, whatever was the latest.
It's like coconut water.
Whatever, no, but they used to Goji. Remember Goji? Every day, every decade, they had another magic bullet that will make you age backwards and will put your children through school. Remember that foolishness? But breadfruit.
Breadfruit is the next one.
Breadfruit is a starch.
And you know what worries me about it is that the Ministry of Agriculture is not processing or making plans of this
Robert
nature.
Lincoln Myers brought
Or
dwarf.
converting the lands that are available to the state.
Clarence Rambarat know why he growing nothing. The food importers bribes political parties to not grow food so they could enjoy $5 billion in imports.
But here is the
Robert, Clarence Rambarat is not a fool. I know Clarence Rambarat. Clarence Rambarat is growing nothing. He shut down Caroni Green on instruction. The same way John Rahal shut down Caroni Limited on instruction, telling the people that Caroni Limited costing us 500 million a year in loss, but didn't shut down CPEP and URP that costing us $1 billion a year in loss. And at least out of Caroni Limited, you could have get sugar and rum.
According to the philosophy of the Chinese, the reason why democracies, or as they will say, these capitalist economies evolve or work is because billionaires control the policy making.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In the Chinese model, they say there is nowhere that billionaires control the party bureaucracy.
Absolutely. No. You could become a billionaire assisting with national policy. So you hear that Trinidad and Tobago wants to corner the global market on guava juice and guava jam. You know we import into Trinidad and Tobago all of the tamarind that we eat.
Yes, we do. All them tamarind tree gone.
I, growing up as a little boy, used to go and climb my grandmother tamarind tree to make tamarind stew and tamarind ball.
Well, there was a tamarind tree right in the property on Park Street, in the back of where TN Tech is, that every schoolboy used to go and get tamarind from
Robert,
that tamarind.
Invader Spaniard had a breadfruit tree. It was a landmark.
Well, we have one here, you know, and
I
they
know.
tried to make me cut it down.
I know you have a breadfruit
Okay,
tree.
I'll fall with that
Lincoln
tree.
Myers, Trinidadians don't remember, you know. Lincoln Myers, who had fasted on the Hall of Justice steps under the NAR, was a Minister of Agriculture. He brought dwarf breadfruit trees to Trinidad. So you don't have to climb 100 feet to pick a breadfruit. You could grow it where it could be, and it like the mango we spoke about earlier, the avocado, it don't need you to rub its ears every day.
Yeah, here's another point that the Chinese has made, which I think Trinidad and Tobago people have to come to grips with. Capital, or capitalists, does not have enshrined rights in the Chinese system. In Trinidad and Tobago, capitalists have enshrined rights. Yeah,
Robert, I want to tell you
pick up
something.
the phone, as I say to them,
Robert, I want to tell you something, eh?
Charlotte Street.
The Progressive Empowerment Party has at its heart, its overriding philosophy is that the well-being of all the citizens is the function, purpose, and reason for government. You see all these Chamber of Commerce and 1%ers and all that nonsense that dictates the pace in Trinidad and Tobago and has this country so functionally illiterate and backward, all that done. You need a government that is willing to undo and redo Trinidad and Tobago, but it has to be disconnected from the oligarchy. These people have made billions of dollars. Robert, in this country, we make a man a billionaire. His children jet set in the world in private jets from paving road. Paving road. In a country where the only two good roads we have, the Yankee Bill, Wallafield and North Coast, and Chagaramas, everything else, there's paved today and it mash up tomorrow.
Well, I want to switch gears a little bit, Philip, because this is.
I just want to ask you one more thing before you switch gears. You ever eat curry breadfruit?
Yeah. I eat everything breadfruit. Anything
Robert,
about breadfruit.
curry breadfruit is a game changer, you know. Curry bread.
Anything.
No,
curry
but
anything is like,
you see that natural sweetness that's released in a breadfruit when you steam it?
Yeah.
Curry breadfruit is a game changer. And I want to reach out to my friend Sharon Sajudeen in Roti Cafe, because the last time I was on this radio, I told her about curry oxtail and she make it the next day.
Yeah.
Sharon,
Curry breadfruit.
curry breadfruit, and call me. I'll bring in Robert this time. Roti Cafe.
Faris Alwari has blown some hot air recently about this issue with regards to Cambridge Analytica. I know you have your own views with regards to that too, and I've seen some of your posts. But I was bewildered when I saw, coming out of the opposition, a document that they've sent out dealing with a company called EliteChange.com. In this document, which is on their website, here is how it heads. Elite Change Inc. helps lead Trinidad and Tobago's People's National Political Movement Party and Dr. E. Crowley to victory in Prime Minister's race. Now, this is on the People's website. I looked at Cambridge Analytica. I didn't see anything saying that they helped the UNC or the People's Partnership to achieve anything.
Well, it may not be on their website, but they said it in the Canadian and British parliaments.
I heard them speaking in the British Parliament, and I don't recall them calling any name.
They did. I'll
Right.
send you the link.
Now, this is
The
a
Boston Globe,
Uh-huh.
who bust the mark on Cambridge Analytica and Aggregate IQ.
Yes.
The story that they put out traced the origins of Aggregate IQ, which is the thing, you know, and that it was first tried in Trinidad and Tobago. And they interviewed the guy who was in charge of it. And he said that we mask it in a bullshit national policy. That is the word he used in the article. And he said that under the Ministry of National Security in Trinidad and Tobago, we gathered the information that was used for political purposes for the then government, the United National Congress. Robert, that is so much misbehavior in public office, it is almost treasonous. To use the state machinery to monitor the citizenry for political gain, that is madness.
Well, I can't.
And comparing that with whether or not the PNM, because they have a lot of these aggregate companies, and what they do is they go on social media and they harvest interests, and they use those interests to influence opinion. If you're on Facebook or any of the social media sites, chances are what is coming down your news feed is not what's coming down my news feed. What's coming down your news feed is algorithms has monitored what you paid attention to.
But the point I'm making to you, Philip, is that whether you like it or not, the same thing, and you have influenced this discussion by saying that they've had an interjection of using national machinery.
State machinery is the difference.
And I understand.
That's the misbehavior.
The point is,
public
we
office.
don't know whether or not the institution they had any of that. They haven't said that. I need to get that copy of that document so I could interrogate it myself.
Absolutely.
But for this company to make this statement as a similar kind of provider outside of what you influenced the decision by saying that national security information was used,
Robert,
I am saying 6 or 1/2 a dozen.
Robert, the news that we get is so much
The bottom-
God's foolery,
Yeah, but the
tomfoolery,
bottom-
God's zookery. I heard that word today, God's zookery and tomfoolery. It's a man bite dog headline. We don't have the knowledge. The average Trinidadian doesn't understand where harvesting data and using it for political influence is right and wrong. And
Yeah.
where it became wrong,
No,
Robert.
I don't want to lose the focus of that because I hear what you're saying. I think the more important issue is some of the commentary that is published while this election victory, with this election, Elite Change Incorporated looks forward to working with the PNM as they move to return good governance to Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Jones helped to design and implement Trinidad and Tobago's first real-time reporting system for a national election. Additionally, the team implemented a robust analytics-driven canvassing program that spanned the entire country.
Yeah, but you see, both of them, right, got caught up with feedback information.
The point is that if
When you-
Faris Alwari is moving against Cambridge Analytica,
He can.
then
He doesn't
the
even.
point is not that. The point is if he's making such a statement, then as the Attorney General that is looking after the interests of the people of Trinidad and Tobago and not of the interests of a political party, because he's not there
Right.
in his capacity as
As-
the Attorney
right.
General of the PNM,
Correct.
then he must not allow this to go without
Well, all right.
also comment.
Absolutely, but I need to tell you this. The same sun that raises your crops will blind you without regard
I have no problem
and
with
will
that.
burn you to a crisp. Understanding how something works and where its use can become wrong and right, and that's all I'm saying. I don't know anything about what the PNM did with it. The only reason I got into the aggregate IQ conversation is that paragraph where the gentleman said that the country sold aggregate IQ service to the people under a bullshit Ministry of National Security
And all I am saying
initiative.
is that that's a statement you're making that I have not seen. And
That's-
unless you do not send me that document,
I will send it to you.
have
But
to
you
treat
can
that-
Google it right now.
I have to treat that
As
as
hearsay.
an Alexander position.
You could Google
And
it.
I have to treat it as
I'll
that.
send it to you.
So once you send it to me and I have it, I have a fair
But
guess.
if you check your email because you're on my mail out, listen, I had sent this because you don't know this. You said you saw that I had an opinion. Long before Faris Al-Rawi knew what a Cambridge Analytica was on aggregate IQ, I had put this in the public space and sent it to everybody and said, this is coming. But anyway, this Saturday at noon, Robert, we're back in 19 Stanmore Avenue and everybody in the country are invited to join the conversation to build a better nation. Nation. The Progressive Empowerment Party would like to thank you again for having me every Thursday for this wonderful exchange, and we invite the entirety of Trinidad and Tobago who want a better country, a better nation, to meet us at 19 Stanmore Avenue this Saturday at noon, and you can email us at peptrinbago@gmail.com.
Well, I hear you loud and clear, and I appreciate your comment, and look forward to you being here next week. So, with that said, we go to the news. With that said, we will be going to the news in one moment.